Hey, bong bong. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the r/rap battles AMA. This is our first AMA on the channel. Welcome to the Lush One AMA. This is the official YouTube channel for the subreddit r/rap battles. I'm Copasetic. With me today, as always,
Pathogenic.
Man, before we start, could I just say, Path, like you're a motherfucking hero, dog. Like seriously, like you are the strength, perseverance, and just fortitude that you embody as a man is so inspirational. And to see you to look at you right now, like not even slight, like you look unbothered as fuck. You feel me? Getting hit by a train, like let me just brush my shoulder off right quick. You know what I mean? Like you are, man. It's great to see you. You know, I've been fucking with you for a while, bro. I remember your Bar J battle. Was that the dude's name? Bar J? You feel me? Yeah. Even like not that long ago, the Father Focus joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you've been putting numbers up, dog, and I think you're incredibly talented, and I'm glad to see where you're at right now, bro. Like you are.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. For anyone that doesn't know, when I came out of the hospital, I had this video a lot of people sent in that had a lot of stuff from various people throughout the culture. And having Lush call me his fella mozzarella and say, I hope you're doing all right, really made my day when I came out of the hospital. So it means the world to me. Thank you, brother.
No, it's incredible. And just to see how much, because, you know, all we can do at moments like that is hope. Yeah. All we can do is hope and pray and try to, you know, exude positivity into the atmosphere and to God's ears and through his hands. And just to see that you thugged it out and where you at now, bro. Like whenever you're ready to come to America, hop on that GTX stage, bro. You feel me? I'm gonna let you know all these motherfuckers is hungry, so they're not gonna take it easy on you. Just go crazy, man. We ready when you are.
Thank you, brother. Definitely. I'll hit you up about it.
I bet that.
Amazing. Yes, for people who don't know or new to the show, Pathogenic got in a fight with a train, and the train is still in recovery. Still trying to get back to being on track. But
the train got the first round, but my rebuttal in the second was crazy, and I definitely took it 2-1.
Great shit. Obviously, r/rap battles is the largest online forum for the international culture of battle rap. You can find us on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, and the official Discord server. It's in the links below. It's the only place for fans to go for battle rap news from around the globe.
It's r/rap battles. We really want to know what y'all came to say. It costs money to be this good. You got to pay to play. And you know we got the GOAT, Lush One, for our live AMA. Let's go.
And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to throat fuck that bitch until she sounds like Macy Gray. You feel me? I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss, but
the show is good for that. I think you're all right.
Yeah, you're fine.
Cool. So thanks for
consensual. It was consensual.
Thanks for jumping on, man. Boy, life has been a whirlwind for you, I imagine, in the past year.
Yeah.
Are you where are you at right now? Like, what's life like for Lush One right now?
It's, you know, I'm really trying my best to be present in the moment and appreciate what's going on. And because like I'm so hyper focused on what's next and staying ahead of the curve and being on the cutting edge of the culture and progressing that I haven't really I planted the seeds, I've grown the flowers, but before I get a chance to smell them, I'm already starting a new garden. So there's, you know, it hasn't really been, I haven't had an opportunity to actually enjoy where I'm at. So I try my best to be able to do that. But it's increasingly more difficult.
Understandable.
Really, at the end of the day, like where I'm at right now is where I'm supposed to be. I was like on, and that's not to take away from anything that I've done the past several years, and definitely not to take away from any of the people that have helped me along the way, and, you know, people that have given me homes and all that. But like, I'm supposed to be at the helm of my own ship. I'm supposed to, be pushing this grind timeline. And that's like, I was never, and obviously my path had a few twists and turns and bends and all that, but this is what I was supposed to be doing the whole time. And that's why things always kind of seemed a bit off for this past decade. And, it took me 10 years to find my way home, but here we are.
Welcome back.
Come on.
Yeah, that's a huge journey. For people who are maybe less familiar, Lush, you were part of, I would say, instrumental era of grind time as far as battle rap is concerned. It just sort of revolutionized everything, and really blew battle rap up for the United States and internationally even. And then grind time. What would you say? How would we phrase this? They sort of
deteriorated, fell apart.
Yeah, a little bit. But you've remained constant in the culture. Developing talent and building and creating all types of new avenues for young artists to grow and develop their craft. And now full circle, with GTX.
Like when grind time, like we started grind time, we're all like in our mid-20s, but between me and Direct and Matt Ills, like the three figureheads of this, like there wasn't a college degree between us, you know what I mean? Like there was no real business know-how. Direct was learning. He was like in school at Full Sail. Like Matt Ills was on his like local MC shit in the Florida scene. I'd been doing music and putting it down in the underground for years, but like as far as business, I was like, sold dope. And that was like the extent of my understanding and knowledge of business. So we kind of like, we're doing something that we thought was cool. We're doing something that we thought was going to be fun and helping shine some light on our talented homeboys and homegirls. And then we had no idea how big it was going to get and the responsibility that was going to entail and how many lives were going to be affected by that subsequently. So, we wound up to just, it's pointless at this point to kind of regurgitate the details of what went left, but it went left and we all kind of went in our own directions. Direct wound up leaving and starting a rap grid. Matt Ills stayed and tried to thug it out, but it was already kind of on such a decline that there wasn't much he could do, despite his best efforts. And myself, I had a choice. Like I could have started my own thing at that point and started like, Fresh Coast Battles or whatever it would have been called back then, like West Coast Battle Rap League, or join up with King of the Dot in Canada, where at the time, like everybody, all of the homies already felt comfortable over there. You know what I mean? Like in Avocado, like our whole entire visual team was comfortable over there and all of our artists were comfortable over there. And Organic and I have been friends for fucking years. Like before he had King of the Dot, before I had Grind Time, since he was like 15 years old, we had been chopping it up online and been homies. And like, we're both part of that small online tightly knit community of people that are just like pushing the line of battle rap on the internet, on and off the internet. And we just like always, we like when things would go, there was like, like King of the Dot showed a lot of love to Grind Time during the early days, but there is definitely like, we all have our own leagues. Don't Flop's its own thing. King of the Dot's its own thing. Grind Time's its own thing. URL popped up and like we fucked with each other, but like there is like times where we would clash. But Organic and I always kept it super G, and there were times where people on his like in Canada were trying to bust moves on him, and I try to side up with us, and I wouldn't allow it to happen. I would like keep him in the loop of what was going on. There's certain times things were happening where he had my back and helped out. That motherfucker flew himself out to battle disaster in 2009. You feel me? Like, so we always had a good relationship. So it kind of made sense. And he was like, when it was about to be like Grind Time making this, especially the Fresh Coast, making this mass migration over to King of the Dot, he was like a little bit hesitant about it. I was more like, yo, let's fucking do this shit. And, and that's kind of describes both of us in our natures. Like he's like a very like methodical, thought out person. Like I'm very passion driven. I'm a Sagittarius. I'm gonna fucking go do it. I'm gonna make it happen right now. Think about it afterwards. Like fuck potential consequences. You know, like I'm jumping out the plane. We'll figure out if this parachute works afterwards. Like,
Nice.
and it's like, well, what's the specs on the fucking on the gas tank for this fucking plane here? Like, what type of fuel and where was it manufactured? Oh, it's manufactured in Qatar. No, we need that Lebanese fuel. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's super detail oriented, and I've learned a lot of that from him over the years. But at the time, I was just like, yo, let's fucking do this. He was kind of like, yo, let's think about it, whoop de whoop de whoop. And then like I think the final catalyst for making that decision was like, yo, we have a fucking chance to book. We're booking cannabis right now. Like, do you want to fucking be down with this or not? You feel me? Because this is what it is. Like, kind of like the same way, like when I joined Grind Time, I forced their hand. It was like damn near the same thing. I kind of forced Organic's hand. Like, even though we were already cool, like I forced, when I was going to first join Grind Time, it was like, hey, guess what? Like, yeah, I know I'm about to battle over there and shit, but yo, everyone in the West Coast wants to do this. I already have Thesaurus, Ilmac, Passwords. I've talked to all these dudes. They're all fucking down. Let's get it popping. Like, so either you can make me the head of your West Coast chapter, or I'm gonna just, you know, say fuck you and start my own shit. And then they were like, well, you know, like there's not really much. I mean, like either I'm gonna be a fucking gigantic hornet sting thorn up your ass, or you're gonna, you know, get down or lay down essentially. So, and that's the same thing that damn near happened with King of the Dot. But I could have, and like over the years, there were moments where I regretted not taking that initiative, and because at the end of the day, I love King of the Dot. You feel me? And I'll always love King of the Dot, and that's family. But like Grind Time is my shit, and like I'm a born leader, and I'm supposed to be in this position. Like, and like no matter how much I grew, how much I was able to push the line, like there are still things I couldn't accomplish within the context of King of the Dot that I needed my own platform for. There's still too much of a bureaucracy, too many fucking people that would need to approve on certain decisions for me to like get the people I wanted through the door and make the moves I wanted to do. So I was like, I know it's scary. Like being out on your own is scary. You don't have that fucking, you know, you don't have that bubble. You don't have that shelter, you know, like if things go all bad, you can't like, oh, help me out. No one's going to bail you out anymore. You got to, but for me, it was the only thing to do. So me and Diz, you know, made it happen, Gabby.
And looking at it as of having one event in the Space Invaders card, it really seems like a much more mature vision for Grind Time overall in comparison to what it was like, the movements that are being made, the experience, and how everyone took the time away from Grind Time and adding it to everything now. It's really impressive to see.
I'm grateful. I appreciate that. Grateful that translates. You know, like really it was really Disaster's idea. And around the time of the Grand Prix, like when the Grand Prix was ending, and he had already been thinking about this for a while. Like I want to say going back to around the time of the Oxy battle, you know what I mean? He'd been wanting to bring back Grind Time and had an idea for a platform, calling it GTX. Like this dude went and with a piece of fucking metal carved the logo in cardboard and was like, this is the logo. He had a very clear-cut vision, exactly how he wanted to do it. I was like, yo, I was a little bit hesitant for multiple reasons. You know, at the time, I'm still working for King of the Dot. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really, and to be like full transparency, I wasn't making a livable wage working with King of the Dot, and I'm working full time. You know what I mean? I'm like, and like what I was making is less than an assistant manager at McDonald's would be making. You know what I mean? And I'm like, literally, I'm on a plane every other week, going to a different city. I'm pretty much hands-on, you know, working with people like Cope to facilitate the entire KOTDS one, the Grand Prix previously to that. And I was like, you know, I'll just flat out say it. Nobody worked harder on that than I did. nobody put more heart, nobody put more blood, sweat, and tears, more sacrifice than I did on that. You know, like that was my baby right there. And I didn't, it wasn't my creation. Like, you know, Organic created that, like, but it was me that it was in my hands. Like, there was only so much he could do over there in Canada. You know what I mean? He couldn't be on the ground floor with it. Plus, like, Ghost Drops was popping off. So he had so much of his focus on that. So I was like balls to the wall Grand Prix. And like the good thing that I really got to, it helped me further cultivate a lot of relationships with different battlers and local scenes, and just like things that I'd kind of been out of touch with over the years. As much as I try to stay in touch, like that was helping me. But I still was like, nah, like this, I'm doing this King of the Dot shit. And he was like, this fool went out, registered an LLC, put it in my name. You know what I mean? It was like, he's like, I believe in you. He's like, you know, you make great music, like, and like, that's cool. But this battle rap shit is your fucking legacy. You know what I mean? Like, this battle rap shit, like, this is what people are going to remember of you 30 years down the line. If anyone remembers you at all, it's going to be from this, you know? And he really was like, we tried to, you know, we were in talks with some investors as early as like the time between the Grand Prix and the and S1, and like, but I was like, you know, my mentality at the time was like, I just wanted to help my friend out, and I didn't even really think, I didn't have the vision that this was gonna be anything. I'm still full King of the Dot, you know, it is what it is. We were having meetings with big investors, and you know, we're in fucking Vegas in a $7,000 suite. You feel me? With fucking like, it was crazy with like stripper poles and fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, Chateaubriand and filet mignon and all this crazy food. And like, you know, we have major investors coming out for this shit and like this whole thing. And then it wound up fizzling out and nothing happened from it. And I felt really defeated. Went back to LA, took a few other meetings, nothing was panning out, and I was like, you know what, fuck this. S1's about to get cracking. I'm just gonna focus on that. Like, there's nothing really going with this. And then, you know, wound up meeting. A few things happened. A few investors wound up popping up. Among them was my man Noble Dracone over there at Band Royalty, and he believed in the vision and wound up closing him, and a couple other situations came to fruition. And before we know it, like, I am in charge of the largest budget I've ever fucking seen in my life. And we brought back Grind Time under the GTX umbrella, and have been the most exciting and dynamic run in battle rap history, I would say. These past, you know, from February to now, it's like this little burst. Like, no one's really risen to power and prominence and had to carry the level of excitement that we've done in such a short amount of time. So, you know, we're just getting fucking started. Like, we already have, like, to kind of long-winded answer to what Path said, like, we already have through our second quarter of 2023 already locked down. So.
Oh, wow. Damn. Yeah, I was going to say, you know, when it was first announced, definitely there was a lot of feedback from fans who were like, oh, you know, there's the connotations of Grind Time and all that encompasses, and, you know, oh, Lush is handling it, and he's, you know, it's Lush and it's Grind Time, and I think that speaks to a lot of how we see things now. It speaks to your evolution as somebody inside the battle rap community, that when you were doing Grind Time back in the day and the person that Lush is now, wildly different. The experiences you've had. Can you speak to that? I mean, you look great. You look a lot better. Things are rolling. Like,
no, it's so funny you say that, because like just that mere statement in of itself, like, oh, it's Lush, it's a Grind Time, could mean two starkly different things. You know what I mean? That could mean like, this is some fuck shit, like, get it the fuck out of here, this is a joke. Or it could mean what it means now is like, wow, like, this is a trustworthy guy that does solid business, that has his head on straight, that cares about the culture more than he does himself, and is going to put on and do the best quality and the most creative projects that he possibly can within his means. And yeah, obviously, you know, I was went from drugs went from something that was fun to fun with consequences to nothing but consequences for me. Really controlled, directed, and wound up destroying my life. And in February 3rd of 2020, I got clean and sober, went away to treatment on actually the 2nd, the day before that, for 4 months, and then was in sober living for 2 months. And life's a continued, it's a continued learning experience. And by the grace of God, I've maintained continuous sobriety for 2 years and almost 4 months now. And it's,
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's changed my business acumen, my perspective, the way I carry myself. I'm still the same personality. You feel me? Like still the same creativity. Like the whole point of GTX is, our mission statement is bringing back stylistic diversity and originality to battle rap and that old grind time feeling. Our business model is, pushing the culture forward with and providing mechanical royalties, residual income, and long-lasting pay structure to battle rappers, as well as providing them ownership of, partial ownership of their content, or depending, sometimes full ownership of content. So that's our whole model. That's our mission statement. That's what I'm focused on. And yeah, I'm grateful for the perception I have. I feel like a lot of people have forgot. I have to remind people. Diz is like, yo, don't, like, when I tweet, like, y'all used to not trust me, y'all used to not fuck with me. He's like, don't remind them. You know what I mean? Like, I have to remind them of the fuck shit I used to do and the way they used to think of me. Like, people will say shit to me like, oh, I've never heard anything about you doing any type of bad business. Like, and I'm like, all right, you feel me? Like, well, it's been a fat minute, I'll tell you that. But
so with all of that being said, I got a question, and this isn't from anything that I've seen, but this is a me question that I got to know. What does the X stand for in GTX?
Well, just like, you feel me? It's like that evolution. It's that, you know what I mean? It's that next, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's just like think about it like this. Like grind time exponentially, like grind time times, you know what I mean? Like there's no exact acronym for what the X stands for, you know what I mean? Like, and we always wanted to allude to grind time before we wound up like going through a legal process that allowed us to kind of like push it a little bit more than we were previously. Like, we were like we're gonna claim, because Disaster actually coined the phrase God tier several years ago, which has been co-opted and adopted and is now like commonplace. And that's why our podcast of No Jumper, we named God tier, to kind of like reclaim, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. This is us. Like, there's a Midnight Madness team called God Tier Alliance and all that shit. Like, we're not. God tier is something that Disaster coined within the context of battle rap. And so that was like the other thing, like God tier, like go time. There's a lot of different acronyms, but it's really like grind time evolution is what it truly stands for.
Very dope. Cool. So it's like an algebra test, trying to do the math in my head and find the value for X. Shouts out to Ellipsis.
Exactly.
It's amazing. Shall we dive into these questions? We've got an absolute ravenous audience. I'm going to ask you all types of
it's good.
Terrible things. Pat, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, I'll ask a question. This one's been brought up a few times and it's been answered in tons of places, but for anyone who might not know, your intros are your bread and butter. Everybody knows that. And are those literal freestyle off the top in that moment? I'm coming up with it right now. Or is it a little bit before the battle starts where you go, okay, I know which way I want to go with it, and you kind of take it from there? Or how much time do you put into those intros?
It just depends. You know what I mean? Like, ideally, I would like to have them more thought out, but like sometimes something will come to me right in the moment, or sometimes I'll be focusing on so many other aspects of running the event that I won't be able to like fully dial in and commit to one, because it's my brain multitasking when I'm like running an event, thinking about all these other things, trying to still maintain my composure as a host, but while simultaneously. And sometimes, like when I was doing like the King of the Dot S1, I'd be fucking straight from hosting a battle, then doing post-battle interviews like immediately afterwards. So then it was like I'd have no time to do it. So sometimes it's off the head. Sometimes I'll think of it like earlier during the event. It's never like super premeditated though. Like a lot of it is blatant freestyles, and you'll tell because I'll incorporate things that just happened or like, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, sometimes. And then like I'm changing my whole intro style too, though. Like I'm flipping it up a little bit because I really want to make it. I feel like there's only so much more I could do in that context, and I really want to just like hype up the rappers more and make it more about them when I do it. You feel me? So you'll see an evolution in the intros.
Very cool.
Lush One X.
Some insight.
L1X, baby.
Amazing. Okay, we got some questions here. Hanse is asking, Lush, who do you wish would come out of retirement for GTX? Who is it that's like stuck in retirement and you would pull them out?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this right now. We're bringing back on our next card is the first weekend of August. It's called Ouroboros is the name of the card. John know what Ouroboros means?
It's the snake that eats its tail, right?
Yeah. Right, which is a symbol of rebirth. So you know what I mean? Like we're bringing back. We got a grind time legend that's been on the bench for years, but been popping with his music and other things in life that we're bringing back. I'm very excited about, and he's close to the top of the list. There's others I'd like to bring back. I would love to bring Heartless back. I would love to bring. There's a whole lot of people I'd love to bring back, but this guy, and I'm pretty sure some of y'all might be able to guess who it is. He goes back to that WRC era. I'll just say that, and he's coming back, and that's going to be real exciting.
Shouts out to Aspire.
Yeah, Aspire's back, baby.
Thanks. You can't tease. You can't let us know anything. Hey,
I just gave y'all hella hints.
Okay. Anybody that you haven't been able to grab that you would like to?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There's a lot of people that I'd like to bring back, and even like, okay, number one is definitely RJ Payne, formerly known as Rain Man. You know what I mean? Like,
I had a question that I was going to ask about that. RJ Payne is literally like, I listen to everything that he drops these days. He's crazy.
Yeah, he's amazing. RJ's a good friend of both me and Diz. He's already made it clear to us that when he's ready to come back, it's with us. So, you know, but I'm not going to hold my breath because he's getting that, you feel me? Like, he straight up said, like, yo, I'm getting that industry bag right now. You feel me? Like, so, and he deserved it because he's thugged it out for years in the underbellies of the game. But yeah, no, I love that Philly by way of NY flow that he got. I think it's as unique as anything. He's number one on my list personally.
Sick. Pat, you got one?
Yeah, when it comes to the Death Coast Academy and GTX's idea for scouting new talent, how exactly is that going to work out? Are you going to have specific events across the country coming from various places? How is the talent scouting going to work for GTX?
So there's three different ways that it's going to work. The Death Coast Academy, which is our farm system, you know what I mean? Which is how we're scouting new talent. We already have people in place. We have 5 leagues in the West Coast, which are now farm systems for GTX in and of themselves. We got Sky Tier in the Northwest. We got UBR in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Mm-hmm. We got Shots Fired in San Diego. We got Free Game in Sacramento. And we got Westworld in Los Angeles. So all these leagues are going to be throwing, in conjunction with us, Death Coast Academy events. And not only just Death Coast Academy events, but battles that are to earn slots on our bigger cards. And that's like today, there's a Westworld event. 2 battlers from that card are going to earn a spot on our next on the Ouroboros card. We have a farm system already in place that we're working out in Florida. We have one in Atlanta. So just keep in mind, you know, we got Direct in ATL. He's a co-owner. We got Poison Pen, you know, part of our company. in New York. We have people. We have Mac Myron's going to be doing shit with us in the Midwest, as is Sean Morrison in the Michigan area. It's like we have a bunch of leagues already in place that we're talking to, and people like, Lou Barra over there in Florida who are able to facilitate events for Death Coast Academy or in conjunction with Death Coast Academy. So we got that whole that whole path to the main stage. Then we got, no pun intended. Then we got the whole entire Space Invaders event, which was our collab with EFM. So now whoever's making noise in the EFM scene or just in the Twitter space battle scene if you make enough noise, you'll get on the next Space Invaders card. And the Space Invaders, the first one was so successful, 4 of them graduated. And we're going to drop all that shit on our Death Coast Academy channel. Now we're struggling to find content for the Death Coast Academy channel because 2 of those battles were so fucking good. They're going straight to the main page. And 4 of those rappers now, Eunice, Appa, Rock Lee, and Tomboy, are all going to the main stage instantly. So, Eunice versus Appa drops tomorrow.
Amazing.
Shout out Appa and Eunice. They're crazy.
Incredible. They're incredible. And what's ill about our channel is we already got our network deal through Quarter Lab already secured. We've already hit 1,000 subs. I think we're like damn near 2,000 subs already. We launched the channel like a week ago. We're halfway to the 4,000 watched hours milestone. We're over 2,000 watched hours so far. And our first upload has already hit 17,000 views, which might not seem like it's a lot, but for a brand new channel, that's fucking crazy. And it's continuing to get momentum. That battle's for sure going to hit 6 figures. And we're just going to continue to snowball.
That's how it feels. Just momentum is crazy. Okay, I got one. Okay, Finn101804 says, "Yo, Lush, I met you at the restaurant I work at not long ago. Will you book me?"
I got to see you rap, but you cool as fuck. I was at the I low-key don't want to put the homie on blast. I don't know if he wants his place of work, so I'm not going to say where it is, but this motherfucker work at like a 4.5 star, like 5-star restaurant. I be eating good nowadays. I took my fiance and my brother-in-law out to a really nice restaurant in a fucking rich part of Montgomery County, and Cuzzo was working there. He ran up on me, was like, "Yo, you Lush One, I fuck with you." So yeah, you cool as hell, Finn, and make sure you show some love on the desserts or some shit. But regardless, I'm gonna be back at your place of work soon because that place is A1. And I gotta see you rap though. We can't just be giving away plates. So you feel me? You could definitely get my eyeballs, and we have a whole entire contingent of scouts that are you feel me, or that are making sure. I don't like the word scouts, but liaisons. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we gonna make sure if you nice, you're gonna get a plate. Everybody that wants to get a plate on GTX, there is a pathway to do it, and it's clear cut. It makes sense. It's not drawn out. It's not extra out. If you nice, you will shine. We'll let you rap. We are more concerned with putting together dope battles than chasing views. That's all we care about. We're not forcing people to get on cards. We're not like trying like, oh, we need this guy. So if the battle don't make sense, then we're not booking it. And you'll see like some of the people we're bringing back. Like, I'll just tell you right now, we're in talks with Ellipsis right now, and we have a crazy battle with Ellipsis. So it's not about views for us. It's about opponents, opportunities, things that make sense.
Amazing. Especially when you think about, people who have continued to support the culture and invest. And like Ellipsis is a great example of somebody who put the entire scene on his back and never asked for anything in return. He just gave us amazing performance after amazing performance. He definitely deserves his flowers.
Well, we're in talks with him of booking the biggest battle of his career thus far. So, and when you see what it is, it's going to fucking hit even harder, because you'll be like, oh, I know exactly why they're doing this. And like this stylistically and just like thematically makes so much sense that like, even if the names don't wind up like, this isn't like the names that are going to generate even though his opponent's big, I'll say that. But it's not like names that, when juxtaposed, will necessarily generate the most views. But in the long run, it will, because it's going to be an incredible fucking battle. And this is a conversation that needs to be had.
I'm extremely hyped right now. Pat, you got the next one?
When it comes to GTX, and there's so many avenues that you guys have gone already in such a short time. You obviously have the battles that you're doing. You also have the God Tier podcast that you're doing, which is an association with GTX, I presume. And I just saw, was it yesterday, something about Wise and T-Rex also having an on beat?
Yeah. So fuck, I forgot to even bring that up. That's the third avenue to GTX, is so in association with my fellas and Slice Mozzarella, Canova Capone, who is he's the director of content at Verbal Warzone. So he's the engineer. He's the reason why it looks and sounds as crisp as it does. You know what I mean? Like, and him and I cultivated a friendship. Actually, full disclosure, I don't know, I'll just say this now because there's no real like ramifications by it, but I was trying to get to have Verbal Warzone merge with King of the Dot. Like, I don't know if you knew about that, Cope, but I was like pushing that line hella heavy. We had a bunch of meetings. The sides it just didn't work out on a business level, but I tried really hard. Me and Canova, we were like the moving pieces to try to make that make sense. It wound up not happening. And I wound up, starting GTX, leaving King of the Dot. He wound up leaving Verbal Warzone. He came up with this whole thing called the Walk Down. Now, what the Walk Down is, we're going to be doing a lot of different things over beats, but this is the first thing, and it's called the Walk Down. So what the Walk Down is it's you go to the studio, two rappers, they get the same beat. You go to the studio, record a diss track, like a 1.5-minute long diss track, and then filmed live like an actual fucking battle, you feel me, / music video. So that's what the Walk Down is. It's Canova's brilliant concept, and he's already done a bunch of them. He's had Shayna Ashley, like a lot of dope rappers from NY and the Northeast on there, and he's now been bringing it to the Midwest as well. But he had filmed T-Rex versus Wise, and I was like, let's fucking put this out on GTX. So now the new home for the Walk Down is GTX. So we're going to be having a whole bunch of crazy shit. And think about the possibilities beyond battle rap, just like people that are dope from like the Team Backpack scene to the fucking locksmiths and the Hobsons and you know what I mean? Like all these fools that are just really dope on beat and have like battle-esque content, but don't want to do acapella battles. We can for sure get them to do a Walk Down. And
I see my man Apathy on that.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, would be amazing. And the fact that these dudes are able to, you record it in the studio. There's no like way for you to fuck up. Like, that's a really like seamless transition and it's another transition for us doing our on beat events. Like, and there's certain dudes that I really want to help blow up this year in the context of on beat battling, like my dog Fire the Misfit from Philly. He's incredible. He battled Enes. He's like the top dude in Verbal Warzone. I want to help take him to the next level. So do the Walk Down, maybe give him some acapella Johns as well. But yeah.
Amazing. So the next question is Inverse Snob asks, any plans to have British rappers on GTX or what, bruv?
Dude, in it, bruv. Let me tell you something. Get your brat fingers ready because we're already in talks with Shuffle. Obviously, Shotty's my dog. We're already in talks with Shuffle, and we're also in talks. And I think maybe if all you guys start harassing him, this might help. Or, being the way he is, he might get super turned off by this. But we're in talks with Kruger, who, in my opinion, is the motherfucking GOAT of UK battle rap. I'll just go on record and say that. If it's not Shotty, it's motherfucking Kruger is the GOAT. Like, I love Kruger. So let's so we're in talks with Kruger. We're in talks with Shotty. If it doesn't work out for the Ouroboros card, we definitely are bringing the our homies across the pond over ASAP. There's a whole list of people from the UK that I really fuck with. Now, like, out of respect, something that we don't want to do, we're not trying to like be URL Junior. We're not branding. Like, if a rapper's already been super branded as URL and it's not someone that like we put on years ago, like, I'm not super interested in working with them. If a rapper is super branded as King of the Dot, I'm not super interested in working with them either. Like, and that's out of respect for those brands.
Very interesting. Path, you got one?
Yeah, when it comes to hosting, I know that you were saying on I think it was the announcement, the Crooked Eye announcement, that you were going to only be hosting your main page sort of battles at this point in time. Is there any place that you didn't get to host a battle in that you're like, oh, I really wish that I could have hosted a battle there?
Yeah, so like, absolutely. And this would be like the exception if the UK, like, I've never hosted a battle in the UK, and that, like, you know what I mean? I would love to host a battle in the UK. Like, I've hosted a battle everywhere in North America, coast to coast. You know what I mean? Like, I've hosted battles in Europe. I've hosted battles in Australia. Like, but yeah, the UK is like the last spot that I would really like to. But even then, I feel like if I went to host a battle in the UK, it should be some top tier shit. And that's really like, that's what all the people around me and myself have collectively come up with is the most beneficial for all of us as a collective, because my brand doesn't just affect me, it affects a lot more people. Now, I love hosting battles, and if it's up to just me, I'm hosting everything, you feel me? Big, small, I don't give a fuck, you feel me? Like, I'm hosting No Coast tryouts to get on the tryout league in Kentucky. Like, I don't give a fuck, you feel me? But based on the power that's attached to my brand and how many people are now affected by that, I have to move in the direction of only hosting main event matches.
For sure, that makes sense. So, okay, this is the last softball, and then we're gonna get into some more adversarial questions.
Let's go.
But Nina Fly, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. She asks, that light-skinned girl you used to have on Watch with you, what's her phone number? Also, can you use my name in the intro of the next battle you host?
Definitely got you. You feel me? But I move with the speed of light. I teach these youngins how to read and write. I don't even need a reason why. I pull it out the back pocket and let the Nina fly. Come on.
Let's go.
Come on.
Uno.
But yeah, that light skin, John, I'll tell you, her phone number starts with 310-801. Forget the last four digits. That was just a little ting that I used to, you feel me, before I settled down.
Cool. Pat, do you have something? You got something?
That really was legit, the first six numbers.
Yeah, the last one on my list anyway, which is that mechanical royalties with GTX is such a big, it's monumental when it comes to battle rap and battle rappers themselves. And do you think that that's an avenue that other leagues are going to take, or do you expect that it's going to be strictly a GTX thing? And are you guys fine with it being adopted?
I hope every league does it because leagues have been fucking these artists for years, without, and it's not necessarily their fault. You know what I mean? Like, it's a mutual thing, and it's a growth process. But there's certain organizations that are well aware of this shit, and they're holding it back. There's others that they just haven't had a chance to implement it. I know for me personally, it's something, because, like, look, I came from the era, and I was an owner of the Grind Time channel when YouTube monetization was at its peak. And we were seeing $10,000, $15,000 off of YouTube a month. It's not like that anymore. But, as digital streaming platforms have evolved, as the way that mechanical royalties are monetized have evolved, I've learned personally a lot about how they work. And it's crazy because, like, look, I can tell you the whole story of how it started and, like, how this vision came to fruition. And it was, like, it's multifaceted. But I'll tell you this. So I've made some successful records. I've been featured on some successful records overseas, one of which is multi-platinum, a song called Get Up by Chinese Man that I'm featured on. That record made me in royalty revenue and mechanical royalties since it came out in 2011. It's made over 6 figures. You know what I mean? Like, and if I did so, but I still, despite the fact that I ate so much off of that record, and despite the fact that I've had songs that have been placed in and synced and licensed in movies before, I still didn't fully understand it. But I'll tell you the process of me fully understanding and wanting to implement this for battle rap. What happened was, so in the end of 2020, I wound up signing a deal. Like, my fiance is a pop and recording artist. She's a Billboard charting EDM singer. Her and her brother in a group called Urbano. It's their last name. She was signed to a label whose office was right next to the label of another office of another label, and that was called Humag Distribution, which is a subsidiary of Sony Orchard. Now, the dude that runs that, the founder and owner of it, is this dude named Rob Schwartz. Rob Schwartz, back in the 90s, was like a superhuman hip-hop A&R for Polygram Records and Priority Records. This dude put out the first Mobb Deep album when they were still called Poetical Prophets. Their first project, which was Juvenile Hell, before the Infamous. He released their first project. He helped put out Jay-Z's first single, In My Lifetime, in between Hawaiian Sophie and before Reasonable Doubt even dropped. He helped put out J. Rude the Damage's first album, Wrath of the Math. This is my cloth. This is the music that inspired me to rap. This is what I love. You feel me? Like, I'm a mix of, like, you know, early gangster rap and hardcore New York boom bap. That's like what influenced me growing up. So I love that. Mobb Deep, The Infamous, is my favorite album of all time. So, you know what I mean? Like, that is such a huge influence. So this dude, he peeped the aesthetic of my music and was like, okay, I fuck with you. Let me let me sign you. So I signed a deal with him, which led to me signing a deal for my own imprint over there. So I started the label with my fiance and brother-in-law called Snow Cone Records. Now, check this out. I had a song on my album which had a sample of some random clip on YouTube, right? Like a random audio clip on YouTube, like somebody talking about drugs or some shit that I sampled and put on. That shit wound up going viral on TikTok. Like, that little clip that people started using it, doing the little remixes and all that shit. So I look at my streaming revenue one month and it's like, oh shit, this is made like $7,000 like in a month. Like, what the fuck is going on here? I looked, it was a clip, and then I realized, okay, I'm signed to a Sony. I'm in the Sony Orchard system. You feel me? They monetize shit and have content ID that chases monetization way better than fucking being on DistroKid or some shit like that, self-releasing your music. Like, they're going to get to every single time a fraction of your song is played, they're going to monetize that shit because that's how they fucking eat off of it. So I said, there was nobody that had ownership of that clip, but because my album was put through the Sony system and that clip was a part of it, I had ownership of that clip. So then I'm still eating off of that clip to this day. You know what I mean? Which is crazy, but that made me realize, hold on a second. No one's doing that for all these clips in battle rap. And I was thinking about, like, RIP FBG Duck, like, and he, like, him and one of his like Chicago homies did a clip. They did a TikTok and they're lip syncing Tay Rock and Surf. You know what I mean? Like a gun titles battle. Like, that shit got 15 million. Like, they should have been getting the royalties from that. Like, every time something from battle rap blows up, you should be getting, like, even like when my verse uses like her little clips in and then they wind up blowing up. Like, she should be eating not just off of the streams from her TikTok, but the fact that the clip that's being utilized is her clip. So, and the leagues aren't even getting proper ownership of it. So it's a whole process. And once I realized that, and then linking up with Noble, so people think that Noble is just and band royalty is just an NFT company. No, the whole point of band royalty, they own catalogs from different artists. And like that's what the royalty comes from. They've been collecting royalties. They own parts of Aaliyah. They own royalties on Aaliyah songs, on Jay-Z songs, on Whitney Houston songs, on Janet Jackson songs. So like they have this incredibly vast catalog of music that they've amassed for royalties. So he already knew how to do that. And then like, so incorporating it with NFTs, which is another way to put ownership of content into the hands and residual income into the hands of the creators, like boom, it's like a perfect marriage, bringing that all together. Now, like, again, to bring it back to your original question, Path, like, do other leagues, I hope and I encourage them to, and I don't want this to be mutually exclusive, but the way GTX is going about monetizing it and the knowledge that we have about mechanical royalties and the process of actually implementing it is so far ahead that by the time the other leagues catch up to where we're at right now, because we're already thinking 3 moves ahead, I want them to get to where we're at now so that everybody can be eating and everybody's signing up to PRO organizations like ASCAP, like BMI, like SOCAN if you're in Canada. You know what I mean? Like these different organizations that are going to get you your fucking residuals, because it's not retroactive. If you sign up to SOCAN and then we give you your royalties for your battles, either one of you guys, you're not going to get the money from the past. That's already gone. But everything moving forward, we can get you. You know what I mean? So I want them to all get to where we're at right now, but we're always going to be way in the future when it comes to that. So it's not like it's a threat to us. But even like, let's say they did catch up. Let's say they passed us up. Great. We brought mechanical royalties to battle rap, and now everybody's eating more. Now everybody's thinking about different ways that they can get paid off of battle rap content, and it's more beneficial for the whole culture. We don't need no motherfucking flowers. We just want to smell them too.
Amazing.
That's a great
answer. For real, very thorough. Okay. Why do you swear? Sorry. Allergic to Nylon asks, why do you swear up and down that Disaster is the best battle rapper to ever bless the culture with his presence? Why do you swear
like, admittedly, I definitely do have some bias in there, and it's not because I want him to be the best, but I've seen Disaster. You know what I mean? Like I've seen him rap and what he's capable of in context that other people haven't. So I know the full extent of his capabilities. Him at his best is absolutely dwarfing anybody's abilities that I've seen in any It's not even fucking close either. He is by far the greatest, and it's because I know. Now, what he's presented, it definitely puts him in that conversation. What he's done as far as like, if you meet a random person, and not just in America, anywhere in the world, their most likely frame of reference to the culture is going to be having seen Disaster. From what he's done, ushering in the elite talent of the industry, to what he's done, knocking down international boundaries, to the high intensity moments that he's created. Like, so if you don't say he's the greatest, he's definitely in the conversation. And me having seen what he's capable of, and also having seen what the other people in that conversation, a lot of them are capable of, I know that there's nobody fucking with him.
I think that's
fair.
Not
even a fucking question either.
I think that's more than fair. Yeah. Pat, you got one?
I ran out of my questions.
Okay.
Yeah. The ones that I've been asking were just my questions. I didn't even take any from the AMA. Sorry.
Shout out to the r/RapBattles users. Definitely get your questions in, upvote the ones that you want to be asked. We've got a question from IPP Ipilerd1, we'll say. He says, what's your favorite flavored cock? I assume this is a reference to something. I don't know what I'm.
No, so, but like, as slick as he was being, back in the late 90s and early 2000s, this like, and actually like mid 90s to late 90s in the West Coast, in like the hoods of Los Angeles and the Bay Area, the word cock was a reference to pussy as well. So
very confusing.
Right. So like there, like if you listen to like you'll hear in like Dog Pound songs, Ice Cube, like a lot of rappers will say, you know, like, woke up in the morning, got some bomb ass cock. You feel me? Like, and you think they're talking about dick, but they're not. They're talking about pussy. So
it's a subtle
So my favorite flavor pussy, I don't know. I like a little bit of spice in that motherfucker though. You feel me? Like if it's got a little bit of Latina, a little bit of Asian, you feel me? A little bit of African. It could be North or Sub-Saharan. I ain't tripping. You feel me? I like exotic. I like exotic cuisine. You feel me?
Let's go. I guess I could start asking some of the questions that aren't my own. Nate Sosa says, my dog Smiley said Prada and Gucci don't go together. Is that true?
Smiley, I'm in my zone, yeah. Fucking Smiley. I'm in the zone, yeah. She want a bone, yeah. Prada and like here's the thing. Nothing goes together until it goes together. If you can make it work, then make it work. Like yeah, but like there's certain like cross branding. Like if you see Adidas with Nike, if you see like the color scheme of Prada and Gucci, it looks kind of weird together. I could see that, just like I'm not gonna wear like hella Gucci off top and hella Fendi down. Like that's gonna look weird. So like yeah, like you gotta know how to dress, and but at the end of the day, every individual wears shit differently, and if you could pull it off, there's no rules to fashion. It's like, what can you make look tight? And like, a lot of it is the confidence and the energy you exude. Like you can, sometimes if you match too much, it looks lame. Sometimes if you don't match at all, it looks weird. Sometimes purposely unmatched. And you could have fucking tribal print and polka dots and leopard print and pull it off. You feel me? If you're that type of person. And then like, it's all a unique individual approach. And that's what makes fashion dope.
Energy. Okay, back to the tough ones. What happened to your Midnight Madness team battling? Is that still happening, or is it just in conflict with GTX right now?
It's not that. It's like, if you notice, like our team in Midnight Madness was called Death Coast. Like, here's the thing: like Midnight Madness is hella fucking unorganized. Like there is no real like organization to it. Like it was a really dope idea that was spawned on Twitter Spaces, and like all the ideas, if there was actually a structure that implemented them to bring them to life, it'd be one thing. Like I'm impressed by how well they've done without that structure. I tried to offer my help multiple times. Like I'm, as far as having a team in Midnight Madness, we technically still do have a team, but every single one of my dudes that were set up to a battle, the battle wind up following through. So at a certain point, like we're not going to continue to push that line, but Midnight Madness still has my full support. I was at the most recent event. I judged. I was promoting it. I judged every single battle on the card, co-hosted. So, like I love Midnight Madness. Bill Collector's a really good friend of mine. Jack Boy's great. Surf is great. I fuck with them all. It's just like for there to be a structure for me to be putting people that I work closely with in a position to battle, it doesn't make sense if there's not anything fundamentally sound for me to do that with. But that's not to say like I'm not down to restructure it and put a bunch of up and comers on the team that are just hungry for a shot. That's what I'll probably wind up doing. But we're still using the Death Coast moniker. That's kind of like a somewhat of an homage to Midnight Madness, although we did have Death Coast before that. That's something we wanted to do, like when we were before GTX, like when Disaster and I were originally talking about doing our own platform, Death Coast, and it was like a combination of Death Row and like the Death of the Fresh Coast. And then like some fucked up shit happened, and a lot of people we knew started all dying, and we're like, maybe we don't want to run with this Death Coast thing because it's kind of like hits a little too close to home. But we back with it. You feel me?
What's your opinion, and expand on this, at your discretion, with your relationship with King of the Dot and going forward, and what do you see for King of the Dot? Do you see, GTX collaborating, or is it GTX going to have a Canadian thing, or?
No, so I'll tell you this right now. We would never step on King of the Dot's toes. You know what I mean? Like now, like what I've been encouraging Organic to do for a long time now, and I feel like was the power, the beauty, and greatness of King of the Dot was that Toronto was a destination. Vancouver was a destination. Like people want to go. People from all over the place want to battle in Toronto, want to kick it with all those fine as fuck, loose ass women that are up there, and you feel me, smoke that good weed and party and like live that lifestyle and perform for all those fans that are different than what they're getting at home. That's what made like all the Arsenals and the Shoddy Horrors and the, you know, Hitman Hollas and the K-Shines and, you know, all the West Coast dudes, Thesaurus, Disaster, Dumbfounded, and everybody in the culture want to go to Canada, was how dope those events were, how dope that scene was. And I've been encouraging Organic, like, yo, take that shit back. Take your fucking hood back, build that shit up, and like, you know, people, y'all have our full support. And like there is a potential for GTX to work with King of the Dot in the future. We have to, at this point, be doing our own things. We don't want to get the branding confused. You know what I mean? Like we're our own entity. But when the smoke is cleared from that, and it's and that's a solidified image and vision emblazoned in everybody's subconscious mind, then we can probably go forward and make something happen. And we're definitely down. Like, but no, like as far as doing a GTX Canada, we would never step on Organic's toes by doing something like that. I got too much love for him, too much love for Gully, all y'all up there to do something like that. That would be like kind of snakish in my opinion.
Fair enough. Good answer. Yeah, I think. I mean, these are all the hardballs that I got. A lot of this.
I hope that King of the Dot does that, and I know they're planning an event, and I hope that shit goes crazy. They got my full support with that.
Yeah, should be dope. As long as we see Pathogenic versus XQZ, I'll be happy.
Ooh, that's the kind of shit we need.
This has been great. This is an hour just absolutely flew by. I feel much more informed, and really appreciate you coming on and doing this AMA for us. Your second AMA.
Yeah. No, and first one like live type shit.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm with the business. I appreciate all y'all. As far as you know, like we fuck with all the leagues in the culture, but like we're not here to step on toes. We're carving our own fucking lane. You know what I mean? Like we have our own identity, what we're bringing to the table, what we believe. Here's the long and short of it, bro. What people think battle rap is, and what people have been conditioned over the past several years to personify battle rap with, and the style that people are using at the forefront of battle rap is actually not battle rap at all. It's a bastardization of the culture. It's like just one small subsect that wound up becoming what people think is the norm. So now you got fucking, you know, kids in rural areas who've never seen street life in their life trying to emulate something that's far removed from them because they think this is what battle rap is. No, that's merely a part of battle rap. Battle rap is so much bigger than that. And what that entails is what we're bringing back. And that's the originality and stylistic diversity to the motherfucking culture with that old grind time feel, with the facelift for 2022 and a motherfucking BBL for yo bitch. You know the vibes.
Amazing. Cool. Bill, thanks for joining us again. Everybody, if you're watching, click like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll put the links for GTX in the description as well. Make sure that you follow Lush One, you follow Pathogenic, and the r/RapBattles on Twitter, Instagram. Do you have you got your Instagram is easy to find, right? Everybody knows where you are.
Yeah, Lush One CA, GTX battles. Yeah.
Discord, Twitter Spaces, all that stuff.
All that, you feel me? Lush ONE on Twitter, but what are you, man? Find that shit. It's a motherfucking scavenger hunt. You feel me?
We got a search bar for that. Cool, and yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for jumping on, and we look forward to seeing more from you in GTX.
Appreciate both y'all, man. It's love.
Thanks.
Cool. Bang bang.